All right, let's get started. So, happy Sunday. I hope that everyone is. Can you guys hear our daughter screaming in the background? Can you hear her whining? Sorry if you can. But I think we're just going to have to let her.
She's letting it rip. The gal's got some pipes on.
Yeah. But okay, so I hope that you guys are doing good. I know that you have been working so hard, and I just have to tell you thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It has been really just so much fun to see all the work that you guys are doing, because we know that the type of work that you're doing is going to result in you having the lives that each and every one of you have told me that you want. And so I know that it's a lot, and I know that you're tired, and I know that it feels like you're climbing a mountain, but I promise that this is the type of activity that you are going to look back on and go, gosh, that was uncomfortable to figure that out, but I'm so glad I did it, because truly, you guys, if you keep that up, your lives are going to change in so many ways. I was telling Jake, I feel like there's been a major shift in the last couple of weeks just in really getting the timing of kind of how you work your business figured out. I feel like a lot of times when we think we're working a business, sometimes and I've done this too, I've had different seasons where it's like I thought I was working a lot, but then maybe I was spending too much time actually scrolling or catching up on Instagram or looking at Instagram stories. And so I feel like it's just been really neat to see so many of you guys come together, especially those of you who have stepped up and been in the messenger threads that we have going on, because you're inviting, and I'm telling you, inviting is the name of the game. I've heard from a lot of you that that's been a real encouragement, because you realize that you're not the only one that is doing it. I know last night Bethany sent me a text, and she was like, a lot of my girls are just feeling like they can, maybe they can do it too, and they can invite because other people are inviting. And so I just want you guys to know that when you're sharing what you're doing, other people are seeing your work. It is just spurring on so many more people to do it. So keep up the good work. I know that November, I feel like, at least for me, was one of those months that it was like pulling teeth to try to get people to try to, commit to being healthy. But I feel like in the last couple of days, there's been a momentum shift, at least for me. Some of the people that I have been reaching out to earlier this month are now, when I'm following up with them, ready. And I think we're going to keep seeing that momentum shift as we go into December, as we get closer to the new year, as people are, thinking, gosh, I do want to feel good at my Christmas parties and all of that. So keep inviting, even if it feels like it's like radio silence right now, because I promise you it's going to pay off, especially in the next few weeks here. And then especially in January.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yeah.
So Bob Heilig talks about this, and he one of the things that he inspires leaders to do is never miss out on an opportunity to teach while you're already doing something. So where I want to tie that into is Bethany's comment about her coaches. So think about that for 1 second, and it's Bethany saying her coaches are benefiting from it. And it's a step beyond the end user, right? So we could have added Bethany to the thread, and Bethany could have benefited, but Bethany decided to take it a step further and add this person and this person to the thread, and they benefited. So I want to encourage you guys. This is going to be a big thing for me. I think really as we get into January, I'm thinking about it. It's been on my mind. We need to be better developers of leaders. And so when you think about yourself, and maybe you're not where you necessarily want to be as a leader, but you want to get there. What I'm seeing is that there is a replicatable or duplicatable model here if you choose to implement it. What you can do is you can create a thread on your own with 4 or 5 of your coaches, and you can start modeling what you're doing. And going back to what I was saying with Bob Heilig, never miss a teachable moment. So if you guys are sending these messages, you might as well bring your other coaches on board and create your very own push group and encourage everybody to share in there who they're actually reaching out to. Because in either of these pages, whether Can't Stop, Won't Stop, or The Final Surge, whatever it is that you're plugged into, just seeing those people reaching out has caused others to reach out. And then when it feels like it's, all right, she knows that I ended up looking down in the left-hand corner of the screen. You look good, Chad. I don't even know what I was talking about now. Gosh, that really threw me. But what's really, really important is that we are setting the precedent that we're doing it first, and then you bring somebody else along for the ride. And I think we're really seeing that pay dividends for people, and it's helping so many others grow a business. But that starts with you guys as leaders creating something like that. I think there's a ton of power in that thread. I really do, because people are seeing the messages. It's creating community, which is ultimately, I think, what Facebook wants to do. They just got to work on some of their algorithms, because you can create community in the pages, but then community is lost when people can't see it. But in those threads, people can see it.
Yeah, they're getting notified. Yeah, I've been so encouraged. Like, I for sure, have been inviting more than I normally would, just by seeing all the work that you guys are doing. So it's been awesome. And usually, I wanted to say, for any of those of you who are nervous about inviting and maybe aren't quite doing that a lot yet, oftentimes if you look at your business and you're like, it's not quite where I want it to be, that inviting can be the missing link for a lot of people.
Can you give an example? Like, I like what you're saying. And sometimes I think it gets a little beyond us what it means to invite somebody. Because like yesterday, you were working on something and you go, invited, da-da-da-da-da. I go, oh, you invited them? You go, well, no, I followed up with them. I go, oh, so you followed up with them. So can you maybe just break it down? When you think about inviting somebody, define inviting. Like, you're doing what? You're sending what message to who? Like, in its most simplistic form.
Right.
What are you doing?
So I would say for me, inviting is, as far as like reaching out to people.
Are these people who have asked, like, have said they're interested?
No, I would call those follow-ups. Like, inviting is like my initiation of like inviting someone that I think would be good. And
these are all warm market. You know these people. Or you don't?
No, not necessarily. Sometimes there are people I find on Instagram or Facebook, groups or whatever.
Okay.
But I would say, like, for me, I do a lot of my invitation would be to coaching, because for me, and this is just my personality, I find that's a little awkward sometimes to invite someone into a challenge group, because sometimes it can be taken the wrong way and they're like, oh, you think I have to lose weight or whatever. And so if I'm going to invite someone to a challenge group, I'll always say, hey, I'm running this new group and I would really like to have your feedback. I would love, it's something that I'm trying to help people get results with. I was wondering if you'd want to join me and just give me your feedback. That's how I would invite to a challenge group. And I always tell new coaches in the beginning to do that a lot, like invite and ask for feedback, and maybe even offer, say, hey, I'm just looking to get some success stories that I can share as I build up my clientele. Would you be willing to go through a boot camp with me and give me your honest feedback? And I'd be happy to give you some sort of special deal, and you can figure out whatever that is. But so if I'm going to invite to a challenge group, it's usually something like that. If it's a coach, I'm usually just kind of being a straight shooter with them. And I'm going to first give them a compliment and say, why I think that they'd be awesome as a coach, and compliment them on something about their personality or why they would be incredible. And then I'll just invite them and ask, like, have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you ever considered coaching? And a lot of times that first time, it's almost always no. Like, I'll get lucky like once in a blue moon and people will say yes on that first try. But most of the time it's no, but they're like, no, not right now, but thanks so much for thinking of me, And then, like, depending on the person, I'll follow up. My follow-ups, when I say follow-up, it's more like, okay, well, I reached out to you once. I still think you'd be awesome. but you told me maybe someday, but maybe what about now? So
yes,
I'm going to
someday today.
yeah. So I'm going to follow up again. And a lot of times it's still no. But then I keep and I'm not annoyed about it. It's not like I'm doing it every week. I would say out with those types of situations, it's maybe I don't know, every other month or once every 3 months. If it just depends. But
it's so important, guys. If you haven't created an Excel spreadsheet or some form of management system for you to keep track of anybody who's requested information, and then just make the slightest dictation on what you communicated to them about and when. So you know when to follow up with them. Like when we really rolled out Take Back the Kitchen, everything that I do is color coordinated. So I know when I reached out to them, when I followed up with them, what I talked to them about. It's so important for us to create those, because these people will tell you no today, and then they'll be the person 6 to 8 weeks later, they'll be like, hey, real quick, could you just tell me about the boot camp you're running? So I think it's important, but I do want to make that distinction, because I think we talk a lot about reaching out, and we talk, and that, to me, even that's just intimidating. So what do you mean? Who the heck are you following up with? These people want information, or they don't want information. And I think there is a distinction between the two. There are some people who have requested information, and you're following up with them specifically. And then if you guys notice, it is a constant shuffle of what motivates people. There's always something that motivates them. So today we tried doing the bands, the 80-day obsession bands. Last week we were doing the tank tops. Is that what motivates people? And then we've got a couple of ideas that we want to run by you guys tonight as far as how can we make a big push end of November, December. But there's always something, and it's just constantly trying it. And that's where it comes. That's really where I'm passionate about saying, hey, if you have tried Shakeology with this person 1,000 times and they keep telling you no, that's the definition of insanity. Just change it up. Let's talk about Daily Sunshine. Maybe they're more motivated by giving their kids something healthy. Maybe they're triathletes and they need the performance line. Let's change up the script. But I think we're even learning as we try to recruit just a couple of discount coaches to fill out our legs. They weren't motivated by the tank top.
No.
We tried. So then we changed it up, and now they're kind of excited about 80 Obsession, so we'll play on that, and we signed up 4 coaches today with more coming in.
Well, that, and for me, I found that there has to be some sort of deadline. So today, I think the reason why we were able to finally get those discount coaches to commit was because I said, okay, flash sale today only, this is the only day that I'm going to offer these bands, and so then it was you have to sign up by tonight, and I don't know, for whatever reason, people just need a little bit of a push.
Well, and I'm reading a book by Brendon Burchard called High Performance Habits. And if you guys have not read it, I'm going to highly recommend it, and I'm pushing it on you. You will read it. It is so good, guys. It is seriously so good. And he talks about the importance of a real deadline, not a BS deadline. Because people can tell when it's a BS deadline. If you go, today is the last day to get a tank top. Today is the last day to get – the flash sale was a real deadline. We talked about that. How do we create something that's a real deadline? By Friday, if you don't sign up by Friday, you don't get a tank top. Well, the tank top's probably going to be there on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's where in anything that we're trying to do, anything you guys are trying to do, really try and come up with hey, if you don't sign up by this date, you do miss out. And that's I think there's some beauty in the Take Back the Kitchen community that, hey, you've got registration opens here. And if we were better about being registration opens here and closes here, we'd probably get more people to sign up because there's that real deadline. So I want to encourage you guys on that too. That's part of the book. He talks about just the importance of people can understand when it's a BS deadline or a real deadline, and real deadlines move people.
But the power, you guys, of you being your own business owner is you can decide that day to have a deadline. You don't have to plan it out a month. Today I woke up and I said, I have got to sign up some coaches today. So I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to create a deadline today. So just, keep being creative and figure out what you have to do to kind of get people. But it is important to sort of keep changing up the conversation, I think, for sure.
Should we talk about Take Back the Kitchen?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, so one thing that we are doing constantly is discussing ways that we can make things better. So one thing that we noticed with Take Back the Kitchen info is that we were posting a lot of pictures of food, dimly lit, not high value content. It wasn't moving the needle forward. We didn't feel like it was bringing a ton of value to people. And then when we would go through the posts, which we do pretty regularly, we would see that people really weren't responding to it either. They weren't liking it. They weren't sharing it. Like, they didn't care that we made sweet potato casserole last night. Like, they just didn't move the needle forward. So then, as you guys probably saw this week, I just decided that, I'd ask Amber, like, hey, is it okay if I just kind of take back the kitchen a little bit and see if I can spice it up and have a couple of people go live? Let's see if we can get Monica to go live, and let's just see if we change it up a little bit and make it less about pictures of our meals and more value content, will that drive people to the page? And what we saw over this week is just like literally like 100 times growth when we started going live with video.
As far as views.
As views, viewership, likes, comments, it's like the traffic to the page literally multiplied by like 1,000. It's insane. So what we've decided to do is take it, and maybe you guys already noticed a change, but we've decided to take back the kitchen info. And what we've decided to do is move forward with calling it Take Back the Kitchen TV, like television, TV. So what we're going to do with that, and Monica has agreed to it, is to be live in the page on a regular basis. She's going to be sharing tips and tricks and recipes and meal prep, and just on a more regular basis. We're trying to get her really into that page 4 to 6 times a week. So we want people constantly seeing Monica's face and allowing her to kind of be more of a staple part of the brand. We are going to eliminate the pictures of our meals, and we're going to save that for the members page. So if you guys are thinking, hey, I made this delicious meal, I want to share, I want the world to know about it, share it into the members page. We won't be approving those posts anymore. Do you have something? You seem like you want to interrupt. So the other thing with that is we also want you guys to be a part of it. We want people to share what they're doing. We want them to share their family's experiences. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we did this stupid thing with Fit Vine. It's just like a healthier wine. And we went in there and we just talked about what it was, and we tried it, and it was silly. Like, our kids were so inappropriate and yelling poopy diapers and peeing their pants the whole time. Like, it was out of control. And for whatever reason, it got 4.2, 4.3 views, like crazy, the amount of traffic that something like that got. So we want to encourage you guys as well to be in there, but live. And so we want to figure out ways to motivate people to constantly be chasing bigger and better goals. So what we've decided to do in the Take Back the Kitchen TV page, in order to go live in that page, we need the commitment from you that you're going to have good lighting. That's all that matters. I don't care if your kids are crazy and they are out of control, as long as you have good lighting. I am fine with that. We would kind of coordinate a time for that we would know, whether it's like Monday night or Tuesday. Like, I don't care a specific time.
We'll create a content calendar.
But it'll be more of a content calendar because we want this to feel like a production. Okay. The other thing that we're going to ask and kind of hold people to is, in order to be live in that page, you will also need to maintain a diamond rank or above. The main reason being, we keep telling people how important it is to go to diamond. That's kind of where your business begins. You ask Erin Novak, you ask Bethany Swart, you ask Rachel, you ask Bridget, you ask any of these people where their businesses really began, they're going to say diamond. And you ask where their businesses really took off, give a couple of months here and ask Erin Novak when her business really took off. It's going to be when she hit 2-star, 3-star, 5-star. That's where this really gets fun. So we want to encourage you guys to get there. And as you get there, you also get additional opportunities to be live in front of 11,000, 12,000, however many people we can grow that page to be. Ideally, that page gets up to 20,000. Our members page gets up above 2,000. But I think that begins with higher value add content, better lighting, feeling like it's a production. And then once a month, and then I'll kick it over to you, once a month, we are going to do an open registration. So I really felt like we were kind of in this constant state of asking for membership. membership. It's so good because it's cost effective. Well, to me, that feels like a sales pitch. It's always, if you lead with cost, it's always going to feel like a sales pitch to me. So what we want to do is give people so much value, and then once a month you have an opportunity to get more. You have an opportunity to have more menus, more recipes, more meal prep solutions, but you're going to have to sign up and be a part of our members page.
Right. Yeah. And so with the live videos, and we'll probably be reaching out to the diamonds and above, like, as we create this content calendar. But I think what we want to get away from is, again, like Jake said, the sales pitch thing. So I think all of us are just so excited about it that we like that we're saving money. We like that, life has become easier, but it can come across, I think, as us just getting on there and sharing like why they should just sign up and buy is almost more like a testimonial instead of value. So I think with the videos, we're going to shoot just to do like random stuff with like what we did the other night, like share a favorite ingredient, share a favorite like thing that you do with your kids in the kitchen, like just random stuff that draws people in, but also kind of gives them a taste of who we are as a community.
And it doesn't have to be Shakeology.
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing I learned about talking about wine. Like the more specific, even today, like huge shout out to Phil and Carla for going live on our VIP page today. I was really excited about that. And I asked them to be very specific to nutrition. The more specific you are in what you're looking for, the more that person's going to come out of the woodwork to find you. Like that was where like we just felt like Amber and I love having a glass of wine. And so we never ever really share that. We talk about the benefits of making Shakeology for dessert. So I think it was really like, I don't know, like I think probably nice for people, like refreshing for people to see these people aren't just like trying to sell us Shakeology. They're drinking red wine just like I do. They found a healthier version of it that tasted good. So what the heck, I'll run over to Whole Foods or wherever and pick up a bottle. So that's the kind of stuff that we want to. And like even Monica this week sharing appetizers and just like healthier ways of making the same stuff that we already do. I just think that's a huge opportunity for us.
Yeah, and Aaron just asked, can we constantly enroll our challenge pack buyers? Definitely, for sure. Like you can still add people like one-off. If let's say someone signs up for your boot camp and you can go, hey, and by the way, you also get Take Back the Kitchen, which I hope you guys are doing that. Please. When someone says like, hey, can I join your boot camp? Yeah, you can. And did you know actually with this challenge pack, not only do you get this, but you also get menus. Like it's a huge value. So definitely that we're just not going to publicly announce it until once a month. And we'll be giving you guys those dates too. Okay, so a couple of other dates that I wanted to make sure we talked about. So we have our first round of the boot camp that Jake created, really from going through it this whole last year. We have that going on. We're in the third week. And this, for those of you who might not have heard of it yet, it's called Sweat Well Spent. And it's really a pretty intense boot camp. So it came from our desire that we enjoy running, but we also enjoy like.
It brings me so much joy.
He's like, he's killing us basically. Oh my gosh. But it came from our desire because we really like to run, but we also like the Beachbody workouts. And so we're trying to kind of come up with this sort of hybrid way to do it. And so, so we have the first round going. It has been so good. Like seriously, cool. The community, the engagement has been awesome. And so it's a 3-week boot camp. And it's going to end this week, and then we're going to take a week off after Thanksgiving.
Make what's that?
No, I saw Sarah Schmitz like nodding her head, like yes, it's hard. Yes, it's like killing us.
Well, and we're gonna spend that week making some modifications to it because you want to add resistance bands into round 2.
Yeah. So we're gonna be adding some stuff that week. So the next round then will start on December 4th. But we wanted you guys to know that this group is open to anyone, like in our downline and your customers. So really they just, you just have to like plug them in. I know there's some of you guys who are like pregnant, and so maybe you wouldn't lead a really hardcore boot camp right now, but you have people that would be interested in that. So they can jump into that. And the other cool thing, Alyssa said it ends this week.
Praise Jesus. So, but I want to say this. The thing that you notice with 80 Day Obsession, and we have absolutely noticed with Sweat Well Spent, is there is this incredible sense of camaraderie and like a sense of, like, I think of like brothership, but like you are just so ingrained and entwined with these people, and you're pulling through it together. Like, it is incredible to see so many people encouraging one another. And it has been like, for me, I wake up in the morning and I go to my phone and I'm inspired. And then right before I go to bed, there's more people that are still inspiring. So we've really felt like there is something to this. Like, we always felt like maybe if it got to be too big of a boot camp, that people would get lost. But I don't think that's the case. Like, it just really seems like tough workouts brings in a lot of people, I don't know, just encouraging one another.
Yeah, I do think there's something super special about knowing that everyone's doing the same workout. I mean, I think with Beachbody On Demand, the beauty, right, that is that you can choose to do whatever you want, but it also sort of takes away from that, like, we're all in it together type thing, because everyone's doing their own thing. So that's been really cool with this.
Can I add one more thing for people who don't know about it? So the other thing that I really like about how this is set up is if you have people that you're plugging in there at this point, and I think we're going to expand it even a little bit further in round 2, but right in the way that it's structured this time, there's 5 different programs that people are being exposed to. Yeah. So you get Shift Shop, you get P90X, you get Hammer and Chisel, you get 22-Minute Hardcore, and you get Insanity. So there's 5 different programs that people are getting integrated to or getting exposure to. And there's a lot of that, like, from day to day being like, oh, I love the lifting, or I love 22-Minute Hardcore. I really like the cadence. And for me, I'm not a huge 22-minute hardcore person. The workouts are tough. It's just not my thing. But for somebody else, it is. So we kind of think that's pretty genius too, because they might not want to do this till Kingdom Come, but at least they have exposure. They might have found a program or a trainer that they resonate with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so
do you want to go just check on her really quick?
Will you, so I can talk about this?
Sure, she wants you.
Oh, okay. I'll talk about this and then I'll go up there if she still needs me. Okay, so the other thing that all the parents are like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not you right now. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the free group that is happening. I actually was talking to the coach. She's not on here, obviously, because she's like in the middle of her night. But Rachel Roberts is one of our coaches from the UK. And she has a pretty cool story. She decided, like, she was going to coach right when she found out that Beachbody was coming to the UK. And 3 months before it launched, she decided, I'll just open up my like page. And she is really passionate about breastfeeding and kind of helping postpartum moms who are nursing figure out everything. And so her like page has grown from like 0 to 2,200 in 3 months without any ads. Like, I literally don't know how she did it. It's insane. But anyway, she's really passionate about that. And she was like, hey, what do you think about me doing a free group? And I was like, yeah, I really want to do one too. We should probably just do one for the whole team, because I remembered last time this year I did a free group, and it was really, really instrumental in me kicking off January. So we're going to do a free group starting on the Monday. This is coming up quick, but it's strategic. It's coming up the Monday after Thanksgiving, so November 27th. And the reason for that is because we're going to have people coming off Thanksgiving that are going to be like desperate to do something. And so with the free trial, they can plug in like ASAP. So what I'm going to do is, like, starting over the weekend, really try to push that free group. And I think what my plan, originally I was going to do 2 weeks, but I think what I'm going to do is just have it be that 1 week. And so they'll get the BOD trial, but that way, if they want to, they can then plug into the December 4th boot camp. But here's the deal with that. So, you know, this business is just about kind of thinking through what's worked and what hasn't in the past. And for me, the groups and the times of year that absolutely blow up are when I do something that's really kind of sentimental to motherhood. So with the December 4th boot camp, I've been looking at some different like devotionals and books, and I found this book that's called, actually from a recommendation that someone put on my page, and I looked at it at the store, and it looks really awesome. Hold on, let me grab it really quick. Sorry, I meant to have this with me. So it's called Becoming Mom Strong by Heidi St. John. And so that's what I'm going to kind of have my group go through on this December 4th group. It's going to be the same as the Sweat Well Spent, because I don't want to have too many groups. So there may be men in it, and Jake is going to be doing it at the same time, posting in the group. He's going to be posting, I'll let him talk about it if he gets back down here, but basically the idea of being sort of battle tested to kind of go more with people who, not just guys, but people who aren't moms maybe and want to kind of have that, you know, strong mindset. Because this book, the Becoming Mom Strong, is the little tagline says how to fight with all that's in you for you and for your family and your faith. So through the month of December, this is what I'm going to talk about. And you guys, I think I'm going to write a post either tonight or tomorrow about it. But really just kind of talking through how we can teach moms how to be kind of disciplined a little bit and get kind of geared up for the new year. So, okay, I'm going to let you talk about.
What so did you tell them that they're encouraged to use that themselves?
Well, no,
I don't know I have no idea what you said. So.
Okay. So for the December 4th group, again, you guys are welcome to advertise that if you want to with me, the Mom Strong thing. You're welcome to add your people who are interested in it. Like everything we do, we really just want to open up to the whole downline because we want to be able to help you guys out in any way that you can. Of course, you can totally always do your own thing. Always run your separate camps. We're just, from here on out, going to kind of share what we're doing. And then if it works for what you're doing, you can plug people in.
And then you can feel free to be as involved in the page as you want. Like I reached out to a couple of people right away. I was like, hey, you comfortable going live this day? Or would you mind participating and sharing your opinion on this or that? Like, we really want to create just a sustainable platform for people to run great challenge groups, because that's, really that's where your business is built. If these people are enjoying what you're doing, we just had one person that's in a Sweat Well Spent that literally goes to school with our kids and messaged Amber and goes like, I am just loving this camp and I know that I can help other people do the same thing. So she signed up right away. And then come to find out, like, it was actually her husband who signed up, and they want to run this as a family business. So what we want to do is just create great challenge groups and have everybody plug into them as much as they want to. Again, you can continue to do your own thing. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes or take anything away from people, but we want to be able to create something that is easy for people to plug into. So with that being said, today there was the post that Amber put up for like, hey, if you're thinking about doing part-time. So what I kind of want to do, and I want to get your thoughts on this, guys, is do the same thing tomorrow, but be like, well, hey, like if you literally want to come out and just kick some ass in this business, we're going to be doing a page just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to give you really the scripts that we would use, like top coaches, any of you guys who are just out there crushing it over the next couple of days. We put together kind of like, hey, this is how I would promote my challenge group. We put it in a Google document. Then what we do is we take some of the results. There are people that are literally getting some crazy results with the Sweat Well Spent. Like Jamie Kellum posted today that she lost 12 inches in 2 weeks, which is insane to me. So like using some of those results, some people are down 4 pounds, some people are down 7 pounds, like in 2 weeks, which is insane. So if we can use some of that, we can use, like we would have the results, we would have the scripts. And then I think what we do is we take something that says like, hey, if you legitimately want to know what our best coaches are doing, we're going to create a specialty thread, which, like, again, we're big in our pages and in our threads, but create a thread that they can all get plugged into, and we promote it as, hey, like, hey, if you want to sit on the sidelines, just be a discount coach, here's your opportunity. But if you want to plug in today and you want to get up and get running and join us for a challenge group that in the month of November, we're in November, right, had 170 people and we promote it as our goal. Like what we want to do is, as a team, we came up with this stupid camp, and we want to see, like, could we hit 200? Could we hit 250? And that's what I think, like, there is so much power in numbers that if somebody is on the fence of like, hey, I don't know if I would be able to do this. I don't know how I would run a challenge group. I don't know how I would invite somebody. We are literally going to give you step by step by step what you would do. You would get interaction with all of you guys. We'd all plug into that thread, but then everybody would need to kind of do their part. And that's, you plugged that the other day in Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, okay, no, I'm reaching out to this person, I'm inviting this person, I'm following up with this person. I want to be in this thread. And I think if we created that same sort of environment, even if somebody's just getting started, but you have the scripts, you're getting to see what other people are doing, I think it would feel a lot easier to somebody to come into this business and just get up and running, as opposed to, well, I got to go through a month of training, and then I need to create my page, and then I need to come up with, like, I'm working with somebody right now who really wants to design their public page, which is awesome, but like designing the cutest public page is not going to grow your business at all. So I think plugging into a thread where you're like, okay, boy, I got to invite people, I got to post a lead gen, and if you don't, you're taken out. Would probably move my butt along pretty good, but I think that would allow somebody to plug in right away and hopefully get their mind running.
If that's what they want.
If that's what they, but what I was saying is that we gave people the opportunity. If you just want to be a discount coach, sign up and be a preferred customer. Right. We also need to reach out, again, speaking to specific people. Maybe you would love to get up and run a business, but you just don't know where to start. Well, if we give you the scripts and we give you the tools, it'd be a lot easier to do that. So I think we need to plug that in that VIP page at least for a couple days. Amber talked about Mom Strong. The thing that I'm going to be promoting, because I'm not going to be promoting Mom Strong as much as I feel like I could benefit from it. What I'm going to call it is battle tested. Because again, if there's anything that I've seen from the Sweat Well Spent, whether you're a coach or you're a customer, so many people struggle with just mental strength and that ability to sorry, I get so distracted when you work.
I'll post the dates to all of this after then.
So just battle tested.
Keep going. Is that all you had?
I just think people really struggle with that mental strength of, they're getting physically stronger, but they're not mentally getting stronger. So I want to help people develop that. Now we've got somebody up again. Never ends.
Oh, man. Okay, so that was a lot. So do you guys have questions? Did all that make sense?
We've got a lot of ideas. It makes sense to everybody. All right, so you guys, tomorrow I expect to see lead generators from every last one of you. Screenshot. All right, Tara Koima, you are done. I got you. Caitlin's iPhone, I got you too. Alyssa Black, I'm watching you. Kimberly Byers. We've got so many. Everybody is.
This was a great call. We had a lot of people on. Okay, other questions that you guys have right now as we kind of finish the year? I know, just as a reminder, this Wednesday night is the last chance. Aaron's like, I don't know if Aaron's going to like settle down until, I don't know, the end of the year. For those of you guys who have not heard, Aaron has a chance to end Lee here at the end of the year. Which is so crazy, but so awesome. So we're literally over the last couple of weeks, we have been talking, and all of a sudden she's like, because she thought like 3-star was going to be a big push, and all of a sudden it was like, she goes, Amber, like, I have coaches that are working towards diamond. Like, I could legit end the year 5-star. So then I was like, well, how many lead points do you have? And she's like, well, and so she's working her tail off. But what's so cool is that, like, no matter where she ends, like, and I think the same is true of us pushing for Top 10 as a whole, just the push towards something bigger than yourself moves your business forward in ways that you would never do on your own.
Yeah.
So her team's pushing to get their rank advancement solidified. I know we have some other teams. Bethany's team is pushing to get I think Maria and Jenna are pushing for Diamond this week. I think they each just need 3 more coaches. So we have a lot of people. I'm just looking through here. Kim is close to Diamond. I see Kim on. I have, probably going to miss people here. Caitlin got Diamond. Jenna got, or Jessica is Diamond. Who else am I missing? What, my screen's not moving over. Erin McGinnis is like super close to Diamond. So you guys, those of you pushing, I have to say, get out of your head. Because for me, I was like at this point, Jake can attest to this, like the last 2 weeks I've sort of felt frozen, like, oh my gosh, I so want this, but I don't know what to do. And I don't know how to get there. But I just kept taking action, like little by little. And you just have to sort of claim it and go, you know what? There's going to be people. It's going to happen.
And if you really want to, like, if you're struggling with moving your business forward, find me on Facebook, send me a messenger, and complain for 3 paragraphs, and you will get the greatest message back from me, I promise.
Yeah.
What have I told? I tell you every single time that you go, are you doing your crap?
Yeah.
All you got to do is you know what you need to do. Like, it's not that complicated, but we when we're trying to make this final push, we get so bogged down thinking you need to ask and you need to ask and you need to ask. You guys know your basic behaviors. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. And if you're not doing them, your business isn't going to move forward. So you can feel sorry for yourself for a little bit. You can feel confused for a little bit. But you know ultimately what
was the quote you said yesterday? It was really good. It was, if you can't keep up.
Just because you can't keep up doesn't mean you don't show up.
Yeah. So he was, the point is that sometimes you can even come into a team page and go, oh my gosh, that person's doing amazing things. Oh my gosh, that person's doing so good. And sometimes, like, if you're not careful, you can get like frozen because you're like, oh my gosh, like I can never keep up with her. I could never do what she's doing. But instead, what you have to, the quote, even though you can't keep up, doesn't mean you don't show up, because you showing up every day is going to get you to your goals, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Right?
Totally. Well, I want to make sure that we're respectful of everybody's time. When you offer the bands, do you order from your accountant and ship to them? And is that only to coaches that sign up or challengers?
Okay, so what I'm doing is, couple things. The bands are not yet available on Beachbody. So I'm ordering those just through Amazon and then ordering them or sending them. Now the sliders or the gliders and the little booties, those are available on the Beachbody site. And if you're going to do those for a promotion, what I highly recommend is being strategic with the account that you order them through. So like if your husband's account is on your weak leg, you're going to order through your husband's account, or whatever account or person. But it really, to be compliant, you or your husband, or you can have one other credit card that you can use. There's like a U+2 rule. My point is, like, don't just go, okay, I'm going to order into my account. Like, you could probably make money if you order them to your husband's account, which is why it's so important to have your husband signed up for little moments like that. But so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And for me right now, I've just been doing it for coaches that sign up. That's not to say tomorrow, maybe I'll offer them to challengers. Again, that's the beauty of being your own CEO. You just sort of do what you have to do.
Well, we've seen especially for the month of December, and maybe you already spoke about this, but giving people some sort of personal development, which is where I was trying to go even, like, it's just so vital to them. Like, we understand that it's a vital behavior, but to the common person, they don't do that. Like, I guess I'm finding this more and more in my everyday life when I'm listening to somebody go on and on and on about their life's problems. Like, the first thing I think about, or when I hear them like, I splurged, I fell off the wagon, this person did that you wouldn't believe this. I'm like, are you developing yourself at all? Like, what are you listening to? What are you reading right now? And 99.9% of the time they'd be like, I don't really listen to anything. Mm-hmm. It's just like, the easiest thing to diagnose now. So when it comes to boot camps and running, I think doing something like this Mom Strong where, hey, you sign up and I'm going to send you a book and we're going to do this together, I think it's going to be really transformational for people. And I'm going to try and do the same thing. I've got a couple of authors that I really like, but that's going to be kind of my push because it won't be like mom focused, but I'm going to try and find something good, battle tested. And again, just that mindset of, you know, you're designed to do more. So do more, and we're going to help you do it, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally.
Right. Yeah. I think the personal development piece is huge. All right. Are you gifting the book with the challenge? Yes, I am going to gift the book. Yes. Hopefully it's not an expensive one on Amazon. I haven't checked yet. we're in the mindset of do what we got to do. I know. Jake was like, "Are we making any money?"
I think we went negative the month of November between tank tops and bands, whatever it is, guys. I hope you guys understand. Like this week and this weekend was a lot for us, and it was a lot of early mornings and a lot of late nights, and you worked all day today. Like, it's nonstop in this house. So if you guys feel like you're tired, I promise you we're probably a little bit past you, but we're all in. Like, we really want that. Like, we have put ourselves in a position now where my account could go 1 star.
Yeah.
Like, we're finally there. We've done what we had to do. We made that commitment to you guys, and we delivered. We worked all weekend to pull it together, and now we've got exactly what we need. There you go, $11.27 on Amazon.
Yes, that's not bad.
Volume over commission.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for your time. If you have any questions on any of this, just reach out. But keep doing what you're doing. All of you, if you have made this call a priority, it's because you are doing the right things. It's because you're on the right track. And you're never alone in this business. There's always someone that's doing the same thing or someone you can reach out to ask questions. If you ever do feel alone in the business, reach out to someone, us or a fellow coach, but we're in this together. So, all right, a few more days left, finish strong. If any of you guys are not in the message thread that's inviting, but you want to be, just reach out to me and I'll add you. But that does mean you're going to have to invite every day or you'll get kicked out. So. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.